There it is. All right, guys, welcome in. We've got another live stream here to get to. We've got Saquon Barkley with Donald Trump. I just saw that. Saquon Barkley, the best running back in the NFL, playing golf with Trump. Some other stuff. We've got Caitlin Collins and Scott Jennings coming out, and they're dating. This is great to see. Opposites attract is what they say. Any Greenland news? I don't think so. There's been any Greenland news. You know what? I saw something on the AP. I was trying to find, let me see if I can find articles for you guys. Where did that go? Greenland Prime Minister says island can't be bought and U.S. isn't showing respect. Was this recently? Oh, there it is. It was recently. It was today. So there's the update there. That's not too surprising, honestly. I mean, we'll see what happens. D-Money, what's up, man? Yeah, we got the Canadian election happening tomorrow. We'll have to see who ends up winning that. I will cover it. Should be a good time. I think the Liberals will win, but you never know. And it'll be interesting to see how Trump handles it. It seems like he wants Carney to win. She's so masculine. Well, what's the joke? She's looks like Scott Pressler. And then you've got this soy liberal. Not surprised, but shit like this pisses me off. So liberals, oh my, Scott Jennings, he's like a milquetoast conservative. You're triggered that a liberal woman reporter is hanging around with a conservative? Somebody who believes in deportating people? Deporting, not deportating. Trump with Saquon Barkley. Dude, I know. You see the updates on that? People want that kid to go to jail. Walk talk. Mickey Lumnus calling. We are going to take you with our next pick. Sorry, man, but you're going to need to wait a bit longer. If it was such a funny troll because it wasn't even like the frat dude who was doing the troll was being that mean to him. He was just very subtle. He's like, yeah, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. And then Shador's like, what does that mean? Oh, man. Look at this. Saquon Barkley. 2,000-yard rusher? I can't believe like Trump is just randomly in a helicopter with Saquon Barkley. Even tax-free under 100K would lock Republicans in for 30 plus years. Well, you can't predict 30 years down the line. It's probably going to be hard to pull that off, but you can understand there is a pathway to doing it or to lowering the tax burden on the middle class. And even if it's just, you're right, the taxable under 100K or under 100K is not taxable. That's what it would be. But he said 150, then 200. I said like 75 because it's hard to really generate that to make up for it because of the amount of revenue the government makes off the income tax. I mean, I don't know what the threshold would be. Did you see Cory Booker bitching? Yeah, I think that's on here. Hassan. A progressive mind in a MAGA body. What a weird headline. Hassan, who openly admits he's a communist but poses as a socialist. Federal Reserve spends $2.5 billion to revamp its DC headquarters. Palace of Versailles on the National Mall. What is this? This is like a freaking luxury mall. The Federal Reserve. I mean, this is like something you'd see in Dubai. What do they need this for? This is like some rendering, too. No tax under 50K. I know, even under 50K would be great. It's hard to really make it like under 100 or under 150 because you're going to lose so much revenue. Is Saquon a known outspoken conservative or is this a new revelation? Yeah, he's really not an outspoken conservative, Saquon. He's like a quiet person, NFL personality for a superstar. Apple moving production of iPhones to India next year. Is that serious? Oh, that would be a huge hit to China. But I mean, ideally, we'd want the production. We'd want the production in the United States. But still, that's a hit to China. Are you streaming the Canadian election tomorrow? Yeah, I will be. Derek Chauvin pardoned by Trump. I don't know if anything happened there with that. I know Shapiro and Daily Wire was calling for it. I'm not sure if anything is going to come of it. He's doing it again. Cory Booker spends hours on the steps of the Capitol. Hakeem Jeffries looks like a dude that was obese and then recently got in better shape. It's just his body composite looks like that. I was thinking about that today. But there's Cory Booker again. I mean, we have to see this dude is just... He went up in the 2028 primary poll, so he's got to do another publicity stunt. He's trying to get funding for his 2028 campaign. Remember, he ran in 2020. It was a mess. Did you see that Columbus Day is making a comeback? I did, with Christopher Columbus. Yeah, that's part of the whole cancel culture thing where they were like, oh, Columbus was this terrible person. They go back and they try and smear people from different times where there was different laws and different ways of life, and so they smear these people. This is like with the founding fathers. That's what they were doing as well. So yeah, I mean, they're like, we're restoring Columbus Day. I mean, it's from they take it out because of cancel culture. This kid is forced to put out a statement. This is the kid that leaked or that did the prank call on Shedeur Sanders. Apparently there were other players that got pranks called as well. That was Cooper DeJean last year. Oh, here's a podcast. Tim Dillon, Candace Owens. They're building plants in America. They are not built yet, so they have to move elsewhere to avoid Chinese tariffs. I know, but would they really commit to building plants in America? My thought was that when Trump brought the tariffs down on electronics to 25%, there might have been a backroom deal in place to where there was a commitment from Apple, because I know Apple's already made a sizable commitment since Trump got in to invest in infrastructure development, like building manufacturing for iPhones in the US. Maybe there was something like that. As a Falcons fan, you're a little confused why our defensive coordinator. No, it wasn't. It wasn't your defensive coordinator. It was his son as a prank call. His son saw it, and it was a prank call. Oh man. We got a fake imposer. 2026 college football Final Four: Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan. I mean, dude, it's way too early to predict something like that. But yeah, that would be college football playoffs, the wet dream in terms of all those teams. But even like, dude, it seems like the playoff games have less of an emphasis just because there's so many of them now. This is a weird thing. They already invested $500 billion. If they don't at least create one manufacturer iPhone, that's a huge loss for Apple. Yeah, no, I mean, I think they're probably going to commit to it. It just depends what Trump does with the tariffs, because you never know. Are they going to stay on? Is he going to take them off? Frank, what's up? Canada is so cooked. It looks that way. I'm going to go over some of the Canadian polls. We'll take a look at this first. Take a look at the Canadian election. Yeah, I mean, it's not moving at all. That's the thing. Last week, I mean, Carney was up around 85 to 15. But it's been stable around like 75, 78% for Carney. But this would be like a liberal minority as well. It's not just a liberal majority, but it does look like it's probably going to be a liberal majority. But I mean, it's hard to really say for sure. I mean, they have it as a liberal minority with 168. You got Polviev in a landslide. I don't think so, man. Landslide. I mean, it is possible though. just because it's been close. There's really nobody really likes Carney. They're just voting for him because they're all liberals. Elon got close with Trump. Now Texas is allowing robo-taxi to be tested in Austin in June. Yeah, I think Elon is leaving the administration or stepping back within the next few months. That's what was reported. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba can join the United States. Not necessarily. We'll see, though. We'll see how it ends up working out. Looks like those are the provinces that are going to go conservative. Did you see Trump said on Truth Social he will announce deals in 3 or so weeks? No, I didn't see that, but it doesn't surprise me. I think there's going to be deals relatively soon. He talked about the Columbus Day. Talks about Act Blue being an illegal scam. What U.S. tariff deals incoming? The deal with Japan, the deal with Israel. Those are deals that South Korea, possibly Vietnam. Belichick girlfriend is crazy. Also, Lakers suck. The Lakers are done. How about that? But yeah, Belichick's girlfriend. What a weird clip that was. She's like hovering over his interview. Let me answer this. Do you think liberals would still win with Trudeau? Probably not. Trudeau was hated. But I mean, Carney is really not much better than Trudeau. He's even more of a suit and a globalist puppet. But I think they needed someone new. And that's, they forced Trudeau down, and then that's when they make their move. But I mean, Canada is liberal, but I think it would have been harder for Trudeau. They just needed new blood.
Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there.
Huh.
Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates.
It's just so awkward. And she's like coaching him. She's controlling him from behind. It's just a weird, especially considering, what is she, 24? I think they said she was 24 years old. I mean, that's what these old dudes do, though. When you're famous, obviously you want to date a younger girl. People think it's weird. I understand it's a massive age gap, but this happens. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio.
You're balancing Jordan on your feet, and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't.
I know. Who wears this shirt? How old are you, bro? What shirt are you wearing? I wouldn't wear that ever. That's like a friggin' emo girl or some shit dressing him. I don't even know what this is. Wouldn't mind having a 25-year-old girl at 50 if you were single. You're gonna look good at 50. It depends how much money you have. Greetings from 51st. You're hating on a man who's successful, who has a girlfriend in her 20s. That's the dream. That's not a stable relationship, man. Like I understand that's a positive thing, I guess, for Belichick. You get an attractive young girl. That relationship dynamic is, come on. I mean, you think that's the dream? Like I understand the logic behind it. I do. What time are you streaming the election tomorrow? Probably 7 o'clock. I mean, I don't really see a reason to stream it at earlier or later. I think most of the vote comes in at 7. Carney is worse than Trudeau, pal. He's actually worse than Trudeau. The fact that's possible is astonishing. Well, I mean, it seems like they got new blood in there and he went up. I mean, there's other factors with Trump for sure, but does it really matter who wins in Canada? Aren't they screwed either way? Well, I mean, I don't know in terms of their immigration policy, but I know if the Liberals win, it's going to be they're going to be importing a bunch more immigrants. They want to double their population by 2050. They're going to be importing a bunch of people. You could say they're screwed anyway because Polyev is like a moderate, but he would be the better choice for them. I mean, they just have such a small population relative to their land size, and they're just a feeder country to the United States. That's the reality with them. Go live around 5 o'clock. Is that when the votes come in, 5 o'clock? Did you hear about the port explosion in Iran yesterday? Do you think that Mossad Israel was behind the explosion or just a freak accident? It seems to be weird timing. I didn't hear about it, but yeah, that's weird timing. Maybe they're trying to hurt talks and hurt relations Mossad would be between the United States and Iran in terms of a nuclear deal. But now they're claiming that Trump is deporting legal citizens and all this. This is just all crap. It really is. And now the narrative is Trump's approval rating's bad, and it's like 40%. CNN's got him at 41%. Because, I guess, of the economy and all this fake stuff regarding immigration. I mean, this is just, it's irrelevant. It's so early in the administration, it doesn't matter. What time zone are you in? Eastern? Century Initiative, that's 2100. So 75 years, they want to double their population. Trump poll find Trump's second term follows Americans' expectations, but many question his priorities. J.B. Pritzker, a potential 2028 Democratic presidential candidate, headlines New Hampshire fundraiser. What a waste of money that fat ass is going to run. Just a complete waste of money. Man, this is all weird shit. I don't even know what that is. President Trump said he'd like the liberal prime minister to win. Yeah, I mean, it's better for us if the liberal won, I would say, in terms of America's interests. But it doesn't really, to me, it's kind of, it's not very meaningful, no matter who wins, just because of how powerless Canada is compared to the United States. You could say, well, we're getting back a better trade deal with Carney than Polviev, but do you think it's easier or harder for Dems to win presidency since 2000? Right now? Well, I would say it's certainly gotten harder because of Florida in specific. Scale of 1 to 10, how far right are you? I mean, what is 10 like the furthest right? I don't know. It's hard to quantify that, honestly. I mean, I'm like a boomer conservative. No, I'm kidding. I'm like somewhere in the middle or something. I don't know, man. Is more beneficial for US if the liberals win in Canada, but the conservative wins in Canada, you still like? I agree with you in general. I think it'd be better if the conservatives had control of Canada just for North America's health rather than importing all these people. I mean, do we want all these people imported into Canada and then something happens to Canada, they try and come to the United States? We don't want all these people coming to North America. I mean, they're their own country, though. Eleven or GTFO. Are you a National Socialist? Pakistan, India. India is flooding Pakistan with poo. Dude, look at that water. Oh, man. They just released this water into Pakistan. Canada, the conservative is basically a rhino. Yeah, well, they're just very liberal, so everything's shifted in Canada. The conservative is a moderate, the liberals further left than the establishment liberals in the United States. Nationalist, yes. Socialist, no. Yeah, I know. A lot of people, I think, on the right they're classifying themselves as nationalists. I mean, it's understandable. That's kind of what the idea of America First is. They're flooding them with sewage water. You got to be careful when you look up that on here. Whew. Be very careful with that. It's crazy for me how much Canada is liberal. Yeah, it's like an extension of the EU. A lot of the European countries are very liberal. So is Canada. India better than Pakistan. Look at Well, I mean, yeah, they're obviously a much stronger country. Nationalism and patriotism are basically Yeah, they're very similar. Demonized nationalism, you say, has been demonized. I mean, it's a right wing word, so a lot of people in academia are not going to like it. When did Saquon go full MAGA? I think today. I mean, because was Saquon ever really a big Trump guy? I don't know. Maybe there was something in the past about, but I don't know about him hanging out with Trump. Do you see the Tim Dillon podcast? Yeah, with Candace Owens. I saw it. What are the odds of Alberta joining U.S. if Carney wins? I still think very low. I'd say very low. Logistically, it seems extremely challenging. Because then what happens to some of the other provinces is, and do we really want to add more people to the United States? I don't. And a lot of even conservatives in Alberta, even with how their country is in terms of the liberalism of it, it would be surprising. So I don't think it's likely either way. But we could definitely talk about it. That's the thing. If Carney wins, I can do videos on that, and they're probably going to. I mean, I don't know for sure, but they might really get moving on a referendum. But there's even more processes outside of the referendum that has to happen in terms of potential negotiations within the Canadian government. Maybe Canada gives them a better deal in terms of how much money they're paying and giving up, the carbon tax thing, the ability to extract their own resources and use them. There's a lot of things to it, but it would be a story if Carney wins. Alberta leaving would be a story, even if it was kind of a small story. I mean, listen, those videos were doing very good for me, so I'd be able to do videos on it. If Canada and Greenland join the U.S., how strong would we? We'd have an Arctic empire. If we got both Canada and Greenland. There's not many people in either country. There's no one in Greenland. You're talking about a bunch of natural resources, too. Full control of North America. Full control of the Northwest Passage. Baffin Bay, all of Greenland, obviously. The Hudson Bay. We need a higher population. Growth is too low. Well, that's a major problem. Everybody knows that, and we're supplementing it with immigrants, which to me makes the problem even worse. But, because a lot of those Eastern countries like Japan are not doing that, so they're suffering population decline or stagnation. We're going up in population, but it's just because of the immigrants. Yeah, the female pilot, unbelievable. Do you guys see that DEI stuff? That is insane. Fox News 2026 generic ballot. Plus 7 Dem. Yeah, I mean, right now, Trump is just... These are all meaningless polls, but they're not going to look too kindly on where the economy currently is. I think a lot of the immigration stuff will wane if people are angry about it. This female pilot was given several warnings by her male co-pilot. Well, maybe the male should have been the pilot. DEI, this is just not, come on. Any updates on the China-Greenland situation? I don't know. Somebody told me about a week or two ago in chat, they said, China agrees to deal with Denmark, and I was like, really? But I couldn't find anything on it. So I don't know. You're back? Well, it's good to have you back, man. Mm-hmm. Zelensky meeting, was it good? I mean, it's always good to have dialogue if you're trying to end a war. Restricted, thank you for that. What is that, restricted airspace? Your fantasy football draft is in 30 minutes. Who should I draft in the first pick 4 overall? Well, I mean, that's a tough one, dude. How are you doing a fantasy football draft right now? Is it like a rookie? Is it a dynasty league? You're drafting fourth overall. I haven't even seen any big boards on fantasy. I don't play it anymore. I mean, probably Saquon goes number one. I'm guessing. It depends. What is it, a dynasty or is it just a regular draft? It seems insane. Hear me out. That's understandable, I guess. I don't know. Any updates on 9/11 Iceberg video part 2? Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it, man. I'm doing a video on some other stuff right now, like a longer video. Not a longer video, but like a monologue type video on something else right now. I don't know about a part 2. I mean, if it's worth it, I'll do a part 2. It's just not monetized and it takes a long time to do a video like that. Startup Dynasty. Take Genty fourth overall. Where's Ashton Genty going in that? Probably first. Saquon going number one after the pick of him. Yeah, but if it's a dynasty, maybe not, because he's a little bit older. You know, running backs have a very short shelf life, especially if you're doing a dynasty. Am I excited for the Superman movie in July? I saw, I think I've seen some trailers for it when I go to other movies. I don't know. I like the Spider-Man movies. I like the Batman movies. Any of this, like Superman and some of the other stuff like Avengers, I never really got into. Updates on the trade war. Well, Trump has said that there's going to be deals within 3 weeks. That's what he said that on Truth Social. Yeah, the Guardians fan got kicked out. That was an ill-advised comment he made. Oh, man. This dude again. Trump 2028. Yeah, we get it, man. I wonder what is the best like vote counter to follow with the Canadian election. I wonder. Thoughts on Shador Sanders? I don't think he's going to be very good in the NFL, at least with the Browns. It's a weird situation. You know, the Browns drafted 2 quarterbacks, so it's just strange. And they drafted one in the 3rd round too, and then Shador in the 5th. 41%, you said anything below 45 was bad. Are you talking about his approval rating? Well, that was an approval on a specific poll. That wasn't a composite approval rating. You can't take one specific poll. I don't think his real approval rating is not 41%. It's just based off of that one CNN poll. But I mean, like, to me, I don't think it really matters. But again, that's the composite. Or that's not composite. That's just one poll. Why did they call in the prank? What they? Yeah, dude, they're calling it racist because it was a white frat boy who did it. But Tyler Warren, who's white, Cooper DeJean last year, they all got pranked. There's so many of these NFL players getting pranked, but they make it a race thing with Sanders. But a lot of the white players got pranked too. There were the phone numbers were getting out somehow, I guess. Should you wear a Trump 2028 hat to your school? Montana? I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think really people care anymore at this point. Depends how liberal it is. You're saying I am racist, don't ask about Sanders? I mean, if you breathe the wrong way, they'll accuse you of being racist, and so we're almost reaching 30 trillion in GDP. Aren't we at only 27 trillion something? We're at 27. No, we're at like 27.8, so it might be close. China's at 17 something. We're like 10 trillion in front of China, I believe. Well, maybe not. I don't know. He's a project QB. Well, I mean, you get drafted in the 5th round, you're probably not going to play much year one. If you worked at your school, you'd be called a fascist. Yeah, that's their tag word is fascist, I guess. If you support Trump. We were 10 trillion ahead of China, but still can't let them get ahead. Yeah, I know we're ahead of China. I thought it was 27 to 17. We're the Trump 2028 hat. Be prepared to debate. What do I have to debate? Trump's chance like being on the ballot? Dude, Trump, he really cannot be on the ballot unless they change something. You have to talk to Steve Bannon. Yeah, the guy just keeps donating the 199. I mean, at a certain point, man, it's like we get it. You can go to someone else's stream. I mean, like I appreciate it. I do. I really do. We understand you like Trump for 2028, but it's an obsession. Thoughts on Stephen A. 2028 presidential bid? It's a charade. It's not. Nothing's gonna come of it. I saw Stephen A. Say it was racism with Sanders. It's a joke. Yeah, the number one overall pick was a black QB. It's racism. The NFL is like 80% black. It's racism. Do you think a 2016 level upset can happen for Polviev? Like it happened with Trump Clinton, odds for Polviev not as strong. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think it's possible. I don't think it would be anything close to the 2016 because I think Polviev has a chance. 2016, nobody thought Trump really had a chance. Rather be called a fascist than a commie. Well, any conservative would. Trump 2028. Well, yeah. The troll that feeds DG. Vance is not the guy. Everything about him is fake, including his name. Well, no, the name Vance comes from his grandmother, I think. He just took his grandmother's name. Election stream was epic. Politics gonna be boring when Trump leaves. Enjoy it while it lasts. Well, I mean, Trump still is like 3.5 years then, if that's the case. But I mean, politics. I mean, there's always going to be something with politics. We'll see who comes, when it comes to the Democrats. But I mean, even like in 2021, Trump had to be resurrected. The people are still talking about politics a ton with Biden in. I mean, I guess it was a lot less than it is now. Does it matter if Trump loses the House? Most of his bills would just be passed by then, and then he can just veto anything that Democrats try to push through. Well, the problem is it really limits your power post the midterms if that happens. The good thing is they'll keep the Senate, but they also will start trying to impeach him. Not that it'll get anywhere, but it starts in the House. So I mean, hopefully most of the stuff Trump wants passed happens, but when it comes to you're going to have to pass stuff in 2027, and it becomes a problem because they've just got crazy TDS. If they have the majority, nothing will ever happen. There's no way. FanDuel Canada has Carney at minus 660, Pierre at plus 265. Yeah, that's not bad odds, plus 265. Boy, those odds are crazy bad, though. Minus 660 to plus 245. They need the House to pass funding bills every year, don't they? Well, yeah, that was part of even the continuing resolution. But they constantly are passing funding bills like every 3 months. What time do the polls open tomorrow in Canada? Like 9 a.m. What country would you like to visit? Somewhere in Europe. I mean, I should go to Ireland. Although I've heard Ireland's boring, but I should go to Ireland just because family history. But probably Ireland, I guess. Trump 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52. That's like the gif of Trump. Remember when he tweeted that out in 2020? Rubio would be good for 28. I'd pass on Rubio, man. But I mean, a lot of people like Rubio as a VP option, not as a presidential candidate. You say he's come a long way since 2016. Well, he's kissed up to Trump. Let's see what Rubio does with Iran and the Middle East. But he is hardcore against China, Rubio is. Polls open at 7:30. All right, well, I got that wrong. Visit Poland. Yeah, I mean, a lot of European countries would be fun to visit. Portugal is supposed to be really cool to visit, cheaper and not many tourists. Do you think Vance is trustable? Dude was an ever-Trumper. Dude was obese and saying that he hated Trump. That's a bad look, man. But I mean, you know how it works with politics. They go through evolutions. Who's your second favorite Trump? No. I'll say Barron, I guess. I'll say Eric. Say this, if Carney wins and Alberta has a serious referendum, what are the odds of joining the US? Well, I think it's very complicated. If they're having a serious referendum, we'd have to get polls and see. What would the referendum be? Would it be just secession from Canada, or would it also entangle them joining the United States? There's a number of things. They could decide to go independent and just have an economic relationship with us where we protect them. We're already protecting them no matter what. If they became independent, they would need a relationship with us either way. I mean, I'd say if they have a referendum, there's like a 30% chance. Yeah, I'll be following along the Canadian election. DJT will be president until 2032. GOP will nominate. All right, man. Nice movement on DeepSeek R2 coin. Dude, that's going to shock people. You know they're not even using NVIDIA chips for that DeepSeek now? That's going to be another market shocker for NVIDIA. They're going to struggle once that comes out. I don't know if that's being officially released tomorrow, but there's rumors of it being released, and yeah, the coin is doing well now. Really, both the DeepSeeks are doing well. The coins that I'm in. It's good to see Irish pride. Yeah, did you see their rally in Dublin? They had like 100K people. It's like a pro-Ireland maybe anti-immigration, but it was like a nationalist rally. You've heard there's tours of Chernobyl. Remember when there was fighting at Chernobyl? Part of that was like back in 2023 or maybe like 2022, the early days of that war. But yeah, I mean, I watched that HBO series or whatever it was. That was a compelling series. It was a good series on Chernobyl. Thoughts on DeSantis? I think DeSantis did a lot of good things for Florida. National politics don't seem to be his forte. Speaking is an awkward thing with him, and there's really no, in terms of him against Trump or against MAGA, there's no real room for him. You're either right now the party's MAGA. There's no real establishment, and then DeSantis kind of has to go against Trump and MAGA. It's just not going to work for him. But I mean, I think he's done good things for Florida. He's helped swing that state conservative. That's huge for Republicans in terms of the electoral math. Dubai is hella overrated. I mean, I think a lot of people complain about Dubai nowadays, honestly. It's just because of the tax situation. People love it, but there's no way I'd live in a climate like that. Or I would even, move out of the United States. No, I didn't see that interview. I didn't see that interview with Alex Jones yet. DeSantis is a bad speaking voice. Yeah, he's awkward. He's just awkward. Vance and Stephen Miller for president and vice president. I don't think you would go with Miller, just in terms of balancing the ticket. I know a lot of people like Miller. He's hardline against immigration and America First policy, but MAGA is not necessarily conservative, though. Well, it's based off of it's a coming of evolution within the Republican Party. That's what MAGA is. I mean, you know, America First, you could say, well, also independent people would potentially support something like that, but that is a right wing movement when it's like a nationalist type movement. Do you think the Browns regret trading out of the 2 spot? No, I mean, they got a really good haul. I mean, they really got a good haul. You're getting a number 1 pick from a team that's normally bad, possibly two top 10 picks next year. I mean, Hunter's a good player, but now you're setting yourself up to draft a quarterback with extremely impressive capital to be able to do it. Can you show later? Yeah, I'll show it later because it'll just destroy the live viewers if I showed that. How has DeSantis improved Florida in your view? He's made it conservative. That's first and foremost. It's just extremely important. But I mean, locally, the amount of people that moved there because there were less restrictions, the showdown he had with Newsom, where California was closing everything and they kept everything open, and then you had a large influx of people move to Florida because he kept everything open. He was really one of the stars of COVID. DeSantis was. Polviev really going to lose this one. Don't know, you've been sleeping for 12 years. Yeah, it's looking like he's going to lose. I mean, we'll see. It's not a guarantee, though. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a toss-up. I would say Carney is definitely the favorite, but this is not like, oh, Canada's ridiculously liberal. They're never going to vote a conservative in. But thoughts on the Dolphins QB room? As Quinn Ewers, I'm surprised Quinn Ewers fell that far. He definitely should have stayed in college. He could have gotten a good deal in the portal. That was a bad move by his part, but I'm like 7th round or whatever. That's pretty crazy. Thoughts on Drake May? He looks like, good young quarterback developing. We'll see how good he ends up being. Like a Justin Herbert type. Hit the like button. Yeah, guys, go ahead and like the stream. India and Russia are staunch allies. China will side with Pakistan if things severely escalate. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't escalate. I mean, those two countries have hated each other for years. Early prediction on who wins the Browns QB job. It's probably going to be Flacco. You've got Pickett, you've got Flacco, and then the rookies. They're not going to give it to the rookies. Can Nevada and Pennsylvania shift right like Iowa and Ohio? I don't think Nevada can. There's too much influx in the state in terms of movement. Pennsylvania's showing signs, but I don't think it'll ever be on the level of Iowa or Ohio. But I mean, who knows? You're talking about the voter registration moving like 3 or 4 points in the past 4 years. Ohio kind of just snuck up on everyone how quickly that shifted. Because nobody thought in the 2016 election Trump would win Ohio by 8. All right, let's see some of these clips. Dude, I hate this. But I mean, it is what it is. But it's always the noise of the airplane.
4,000 people dying every single week. That's a lot of people to lose. You can imagine parents waving from Ukraine and from Russia, waving to their son as he leaves. And, you know, a week later he's dead on a battlefield, all carved up, chopped up. I see that. I see the satellite pictures. They're horrible.
Yeah, he's talking about the death. What do you want Vladimir Putin to do? Stop shooting, sit down and sign a deal? This is I mean, we had a good meeting talking about Zelensky. He wants to do something good for his country. We want to see what happens with respects to Russia, because I've been surprised and disappointed that they did the bombing in those places after discussions. Yeah, it's the same stuff from Trump. Mm-hmm. The plane noise, it makes you can't even listen to it. I'll just read the text. Sickens you to your stomach. Young American women refuse to have kids. They claim to be educated, but they don't know that more young people boost the economy. Yeah, I mean that's the struggle between the education and feminism, education. It's all boosted liberalism. It's all like a Bermuda Triangle. College, feminism, liberalism. It's all the same. I mean, they're cut from the same cloth in terms of the preferences and how young women. I mean, and also the price of things is not helping anyone. What happens if Russia presses the nuke button? I mean, nobody can predict what happens after that. I mean, it depends what type of nuke that they use. It sounds dark, but and where they target it. Being tough on Putin and not Netanyahu is weak. Well, I mean, Trump wants to do a deal with Iran. Netanyahu doesn't. Trump told Netanyahu, we're not doing the strikes, or we're not helping you do the strikes. I know you have to be careful with your hardcore MAGA base, but thoughts on Nick Fuentes? Could you see him running in the distant future? Well, I mean, I would imagine he would run for something, but people ask me about him. I mean, the dude is, I think he's my age, so he's got a ways to wait. What did you think about the 2025 draft? I mean, I thought it was entertaining with Sanders dropping as far as he did in the prank phone call. Were you a Manziel fan? No. But this Sanders thing is the same thing as Manziel, but at least Sanders is only a 5th round pick. Manziel was 1st round, but Manziel was never going to translate to the NFL, and the Browns never had the talent to even make him usable. Have you seen Business Basics on YouTube? No, I've never seen that. What is it, a channel? Stephen A. playing the race card is such a tired move. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's like it's engagement. I think Stephen A. really likes engagement. That's why he's talking about running for president. And all this, like, dude, you came into the political spectrum like 2 days ago, and you're talking about running for president. I think he knows that it's kind of ridiculous. And then like the Shador thing, people quarterbacks when they fall really far. And with Sanders, if the NFL teams don't view Sanders as a starter, no, you're not going to draft him in the first round. You're very likely not going to draft him in the second round. When quarterbacks tumble, they tumble a ton. Because if you don't view the QB as a starter, you're not going to invest a high pick into them. Grok coin just mooned. Wait, the one that's already at like 30 million in market cap? Or are you talking about Grok 4? Thoughts on Stefanski personally, not his fault. It's Haslam's forcing message guy on it. Yeah, Haslam definitely called about Sanders and forced him. Haslam also apparently got the Watson deal through. He needs to stop doing that. I mean, he's ruining the franchise, but he has to keep doing it. Because obviously they were not going to draft Sanders. You don't draft a quarterback in the third round passing on Sanders and then take Sanders. And the third round pick is pretty valuable. I mean, it's not like you had 2 5th-round picks and you used them both on quarterbacks. You used a 3rd-round pick on a quarterback and then a 5th-round pick on a quarterback. The main one just mooned 30%. Come on, dude. 30% is not mooning. For sure, for something like that, it's got to do at least a 2x. 30%. Did maybe they retweeted that. I don't know why they posted that twice. Is Julian saying legit? I mean, he's a former 5-star. Nobody really knows if any. There's so many 5-star bust QBs. He's probably okay. Nobody knows though. You can't get a read off of a kid like that, and there's no clips of him. When is Deshaun Watson coming back? Never. He's done with the Browns. Do you think Dylan Gabriel or Shador has a better chance to start for Cleveland? I mean, obviously the front office liked Gabriel, but there's going to be the thing with Sanders, obviously with Dion and everything. It's a circus. "20 years old is Boomer." What are you, like 10? There's a meme about 30-year-old boomers. People talk about draft winners when these guys haven't played it down. Yeah, I mean, but you have to. It's an entire industry, draft and saying which teams did good and which teams did bad. Slaby Joe demanding $300K to speak at colleges. Yeah, thank you for that. I saw there were no takers for Biden. The thing is, in terms of him speaking, how long can he even speak for? It's like 15 minutes. It's like 15 minutes is how long he can speak for. Columbus Day coin. Yeah, but I would stay away from that. You already missed it if it's mooning. Just realized no headphones or earbuds. What, for me? Yeah, I never worn any of that. I mean, what is it? Maybe I should wear something. I don't know. Imagine a map where New Jersey goes red and Georgia goes blue. Would be weird. It wouldn't shock me. There's maybe like a 25% chance New Jersey goes 20 red. Georgia, I think, would probably be classified 50-50. It's way too early to say one way or another. Is that true that Pennsylvania is drifting even more to the right? I mean, there's signs of it by voter registration, especially within the past like 4 years. There's trends. I would have liked to have seen it gone a little bit more than the margin. What was it, like a 2.1 point win, 2-point win for Trump? You'd like it to be like a 4-point win. But yeah, there are signs that Pennsylvania specifically, not Michigan or Wisconsin, but Pennsylvania is shifting more to the right. But again, we didn't really see that in the 2024 election. Trump won it, but it was very close. Watson has to be the worst trade ever. It's not just the trade, the contract they gave him after that. They make the terrible trade. You know, they didn't have a first-round pick for 3 straight years, the Browns, because of that trade. And then they give him a huge contract where if they cut him, it's going to cost them more money if they cut him. That's how bad it is. What are your honest thoughts on Ohio State heading into 2025? Yeah, I mean, they'll make the playoff, I would imagine. They still have a really talented team. New quarterback, some unknowns. But Will Howard was kind of... It's not like Will Howard was a crazy good quarterback and they won with him. So it's just like you get to the playoff and you got a chance. They'll get to the playoff. Just got an alert. BTC is going down. It always goes down on Sunday nights, I swear. That's got to be a joke, though. This is a prime market right now. It's because of DeepSeek. Thoughts on neocons getting the sanctions package ready for Putin? What is that in the context of them trying to pressure Putin? I mean, there might have to be pressure put on Putin to be able to end this, because there's been a lot of rumors of some Russians not really liking the officials there, not really liking where they're standing in this war. You know, they've lost territory. They did the initial invasion and they controlled like 30%. I was reading a thread about it. In it was maybe May of 2022, they controlled 30% of Ukraine. They're down to 19% now, 3 years later after everything. So there's some people within Russia that are not happy where they stand within this war. But I mean, the question is what is their... This is a question that we're really not going to have an answer to. How far do they want to take this war? And what is their current situation in terms of manpower? And how much do they want to invest into this? Ohio State Texas matchup. Imagine that game's on at 12. That's the problem with modern college football. It's destroyed. You can't put that game on at noon. You just can't. You cannot do that. Yeah, I mean, Cory Booker just does the same thing. Like every 3 weeks, it's some expedition to go to the Capitol or have some protest to try and get donor money for his 2028 campaign. More rhetoric about NATO. Ukraine rare earth elements deal is going to get done. Walt's saying that. So when are you moving? Going to do a life update soon? I was thinking of doing a life update. The problem with the life updates, I really can't say what I want to say because it's just... But I mean, I can do one in a few days, maybe. Russian defense minister just admitted they used North Korean troops. Well, I think that's been known that they've used North Korean troops. But what do you really... North Korea is such a feeder country. Like, nobody takes North Korea seriously because you'd think that's a major escalation. They're using another country's troops, but it's with North Korea, you have to kind of just, like, pass on declaring it an escalation. Scott Pressler works his ass off. Yeah, I mean, Scott was definitely a key in the voter registration in Pennsylvania. The whale enters. What's up, man? Sean, what's up? So, fellas, have a good night. I'm ordered to report to base. Good morning. That's gotta be a bot account. You heard they caught Chinese. Yeah, they did catch. Zelensky was making a huge deal about it. They caught Chinese troops. They're like, take off your masks. They're like, Chinese. You were shipped straight from Beijing. They caught Chinese troops fighting in Ukraine. Whale time. Why are all these protests happening with Dems? Well, are there protests this? I haven't seen many protests this weekend. You know, at a certain point, the novelty of them wears off because there's so many. But I think the Musk protests have kind of died down a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I just haven't seen it as much on my timeline. Anna Kasparian or Shank? In what context? What's the next war, you think? Hopefully it's not a major thing breaking out between India, Pakistan, Israel, Iran. Those would be the two ones to watch in terms of the next hot one. Did you see the current development and potential invasion of Pakistan by India? Polymarket bets are up to 30% invasion before June. Yeah, well, when something gets in the news, it gets hot, it tends to spike on Polymarket. So, I mean, maybe it'll happen, I don't know, but the fact that it's at 30% doesn't really surprise me. Oh, there might have just been news that came out. Or maybe just some trading. You thought you had a thing going on with another bro, how down bad do you? That's got to be a joke. You joking? That's next level, man. You're building relationships in my chat. This is I'm a matchmaker. People saying Trump's selling Ukraine with Crimea and stuff don't offer any solutions. What do you mean, like the deal that Trump said? People criticize it because I mean, I don't understand how Ukraine or Russia had already annexed Crimea when Biden got in. You know, they annexed it under Obama. So I don't understand, why weren't they aggressive in telling Biden to get back Crimea? I don't know how you get Crimea back. It seems ill-advised. Crimea River. It's not going to happen. Do you think there will be World War III, or is this all just a lot of civil stuff? Well, there'll be a lot of ground fighting with World War what's going on now, I mean, you can never really tell. I mean, we've got situations. It seems like things maybe are calming down. The problem is the border of Ukraine and Russia is going to be brutal. But hopefully it'll calm down for at least during Trump's administration. That's all I would say if there is a peace agreement. Joking, obviously. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because I've seen that happen a few times. Honeypots are real. Yeah, they've got potency, I guess, in these comments. You should have Megan Kelly and Anna Kasparian on at the same time. Guys, how awkward would that situation be for me? But that would never happen. They're way bigger than me. I would never do that anyways. It'd just be so awkward. Why do commies have to be 10 of 10? Dude, commies are like, they're all short-haired chicks. They weigh like 80 pounds. I guess it kind of goes along with communism and how much food you get. Are you going to get Neuralink? Hopefully not. You know, Neuralink's a hive mind thing. When one person gets it, everyone gets it. It's a problem. When one person gets to have an elevated level of brain power, brain capacity, everyone's like, yeah, I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to settle for being a human. But there's going to be a lot of holdouts for that, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of that type of stuff. Most guys on here are single dudes in their 20s. Well, yeah, we can tell by the chat. They keep talking about these e-girls. Piers Morgan focused on Bill Belichick girlfriend. Yeah, it's a weird situation. It's a weird dynamic with Belichick in that interview. Yeah, I think the Canadian election, the votes start coming in around 7 o'clock, if I had to guess. But they'll definitely have the election decided by maybe 11 Eastern. You get a lot of respect for Belichick when he flaunts the 20-year-old eye candy around. Yeah, but did you see the interview with her? She's like control. It's a really weird relationship dynamic. How far will AI go in the next 10 to 15 years? Should we be worried about robots replacing human jobs? Well, there's an AI race happening right now, and it's mainly based on language models. The robots are probably going to come in the early 2030s. If what I would say on that, once they really refine everything. But there's so many details that have to be correct on a robot for it to work properly. I think it's going to take some time to refine. But I mean, yeah, if you're talking about the next 15 years, you know, there'll be robot maids, there'll be robots doing a lot of factory jobs, things like that. Do you have a ledger? Yeah, I do have a ledger. The vote's coming around 5 o'clock. Should I go live earlier? Would it not make sense for me to go live at 7 if the votes already come in? I don't know. Bragging Points went full anti-Trump. I haven't watched Bragging Points in forever. I thought Sagar was a Republican, though. Thoughts on Elon leaving? Personally, you're glad because of the H-1B. Well, I don't think Elon would have a big... In terms of Elon's relation to Doge versus his H-1B stance, him leaving is not going to cause him to have like less of influence within the H-1B stuff. He's still a multi-billionaire, the richest man, so he's still going to have a huge influence, I think, in terms of that type of stuff. Oh, it's just the reality. Whether he leaves or not in writing, you know, most of those billionaires, they don't have actual roles within administrations, but they still have tons of power. But I understand what you're saying. I think the H-1B stuff is terrible. I really don't even think there should be H-1Bs. The stuff that the H-1B does is really bad. because these are grunt jobs that really should be going to entry-level Americans with degrees. Isn't it crazy how far technology has come since the 90s? Yeah, I just saw like a thing of Internet Explorer too. Even something like Internet Explorer, like things just get BlackBerry, they just get replaced. What is the benefit of having a ledger? It's just cold storage, cold wallet. I mean, there's a number of things. There's things that people say are better. Ledgers are kind of a pain in the ass to use, but I'm fine with it because I want it to be secure. But it's like an offline storage ledger is. You know, I had a ledger in 2017, and I still use it. What was the other thing that I have? The other, I was gonna get a newer one. Tangent, I think is what I have. I don't really like the Tangent. It's like these cards thing, and you put the card up to your phone, and it scans in, and it allows you to open the wallet. But I'm not a big fan of that. I like using like the USB type thing, which is what the Ledger is. H1B is no longer needed with all the tech layoffs. Yeah, but I mean, they would still rather exploit that type of immigration labor, I think. Thoughts on Trump supporting Shador? Well, I think Dion's been supportive of Trump, and so that Trump is he has a lot of loyalty, and so he gave it back and supported his son. Do you think XRP is a shitcoin? No. I mean, if XRP is a shitcoin, then basically every coin outside of Bitcoin is a shitcoin. But I've never bought XRP. I'm not buying it. The market cap was way too high. Do you have any shares of blue chip stocks, Google, Apple, Amazon, etc.? No. I mean, I plan to hopefully make some money here, and we'll see what I do with my portfolio. But you know, a lot of this is going to have to be invested in safer places, I think, in the future for me, if I'm able to make some money off of this crypto within the next 6, maybe 8 months, maybe 9 months, something like that. Hopefully Trump really gets rid of some of these taxes, because I do not want to do this shit where I'm figuring out all these taxes on all these fucking transactions. It appears that Pierre Poilievre is doing his last live rally speech right now before the Canadian election. Not sure if there are any YouTube posts. Yeah, I mean, there are probably going to be clips on it. We'll see in a little bit. You want the Ledger stacks? Oh yeah, with the they used to have like the Ledger Blue. It's with the screen. I have a huge. I'm an XRP whale. I bought it in 2015. RFK getting rid of artificial dyes is a good thing. Yeah, have you seen the European version of like Skittles and stuff, and just how discolored it looks and disgusting it looks? It's like Lucky Charms or something as well. Now that's a really good thing. It's going to promote healthy eating. I mean, we've got a huge obesity problem. That's definitely a win for everyone involved there, what RFK is doing, but that's not going to go into effect until late 2026, they said. Thoughts on Patriots draft? I like Henderson at Trevion a lot. Trevion might have injury concerns because he seems just like a skinny running back, but Trevion's really good in space. He's a really good pass catch, like third down type back, I think. Lots of pollsters only started polling for liberals when Carney got selected. Also, no one 18 to 50 has anything nice to say about Carney. All the momentum you've seen has been on the right. Well, I understand that, but you're also, I know you're a right-wing dude, so I get it. I can hear your perspective, and I'm sure a lot of more young people use the social media. There's a lot of boomers that support Carney, so they're not going to really be on social media, but I understand that Poilievre has some momentum. JD Vance breaking the trophy is such a Vance thing to do. Well, the trophy was not secured to the stand. I'd like to get a multi-unit property as well and to be a landlord, but you essentially have to be a babysitter with your tenants. Yeah, that people talk about owning real estate, and I never got into that real estate ownership. I think it's an acquired taste that you develop it when you're in your 30s. A lot of real estate people that get into that like older. I've never really had a want to try and flip a property. I'd rather just buy crypto or if it came to it, just the stock market in general. Because you have a lot to deal with if you buy properties. I mean, I'm sure in modern times you can probably finagle a situation where it's a little bit more painless for you in terms of the maintenance required, but still, I mean, if you are a landlord, there, you deal with all the tenants. Seed oils is like astrology for men. Yeah, there are a lot like people just that hate seed oils. I mean, they make you more feminine or something. JD didn't break it. What are people talking? Yeah, that's what I say. I try and defend Vance on the trophy thing. If you watch the video, you want the Liberal Party to win for Trump. Honestly, I probably want the Conservative Party to win, but either way, it's not going to be a huge factor. But I think if the Liberals win, it could be better for Trump in terms of getting a better trade deal. The Conservatives are boasting about being Canada first. But I mean, to me, the dynamic between the United States and Canada, you can only be so much Canada first. There still has to be a huge reliance on the U.S. So I don't think it's necessarily, in terms of the U.S. perspective, a huge deal whether Carney wins or loses. Get a piece of land. Well, yeah, no, you need I'll own maybe an acre or 2 acres when I have an actual house. It is important for some form of land ownership. Hopefully by then they get rid of property taxes. $20 King. I appreciate that, man. His name is King. I didn't call him a king. That'd be awkward. You're still black-pilled that Trump didn't pick Glenn Big Red Machine Jacobs for VP over Prissy Pants Vance. You don't know if Jacobs would be eligible, though. He was born on a military base in Spain. Kane from WWE you're talking about. Yeah, didn't he challenge Tim Waltz to a fight? Kane did. But that's a nice donation, man. Do more conspiracy vids. Yeah, I thought I did a nice conspiracy vid on the Titanic, but maybe the moon, but I don't know. It really depends on which state you own real estate in, and if your tenant is friendly or landlord friendly. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's kind of a hassle to manage all of that. Two acres, you hate mowing lawn. Yeah, I can't mow the lawn anymore. It's not gonna happen. Do a USS Liberty video. It's just like a Candace Owens copy. Remember when she did the documentary on that? Harry Potter or Star Wars? I would say Star Wars. Do you believe in Bigfoot? No, there's really no proof of it. I know that video in California in 59. That was a fake video. I remember seeing that, but there's really not. I mean, we would have seen something by now. There's too much technology. I mean, there are deep forests. There's no doubt about it, like tropical rainforests and stuff that some people it's very hard to get to remote areas, but forget about tariffs. The fact that Canadians made an economic argument, which is what I see the tariff thing into a whole military-like situation. It's just well, they had to jazz it up because it helped the liberals when they realized that galvanizing against Trump was good for their party. They started to really rev it up and they turned it into this bigger thing. But I didn't know they made it to where it was like, I mean, I guess Trump made jokes about it, but like, oh, you're being invaded. You cut grass in college to pay for tuition and it sucks, especially in Louisiana. Louisiana's brutal in terms of the heat. Louisiana into the September is bad. Bigfoot video was 1967. Yeah, the video, and like apparently that area now, I saw a documentary on it. The area is like a big river now where it was filmed. ABC News propaganda alert: Donald Trump has his lowest 100-day approval rating of any president in the past 80 years with public pushback. Well, I mean, what approval rating are they taking? CNN's? Like, are they taking a composite rating? You can pay a company to manage all of your properties. They will call you when there is a problem and you tell them what to do. It's really simple. I mean, it sounds simple, but even that, you have to, you're diluting time out of your day to deal with that when they call you and stuff. But I mean, that also costs money when you hire a company to manage it for you. It's already hitting 90 degrees in Louisiana. That's why the housing is so cheap in the South. A lot of the climate is just so brutal to live in. Thoughts on Belichick trading down in the draft, immediately selecting a long snapper? Yeah, Belichick drafted some oddities, that's for sure. When is Trump's 100th day? Well, January 20th. It'd be, I think May 1st it would be. I don't know. Maybe April 30th. Any Q1 GDP news? I haven't seen anything. I feel like if it would have been released, I would have seen it, honestly. It would have showed up. I was actually looking this up a few days ago. Yeah, this is a bullshit Atlantis Fed. This was a March prediction. They have this bullshit. Four weeks ago. No, there's no update on it. Yeah, they're using Atlantis GDP growth. Atlanta Fed. The Bigfoot vid is so fake. Yeah, but I know it's just from so long ago, so they could kind of get away with it. But yeah, it's terribly fake. Why does crypto always go down on Sunday? In preparation for the market opening. It's always annoying. Like it used to, I feel like it used to not do that. Did you see the speedboat crash? Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy, man. That was trending. Look at this. This is like some race or challenge or something on going fast.
Up, up, up. Holy fuck.
Dude just got thing just got picked up by the wind. It's too windy.
Shit. I got all of that, bro.
GTA mechanics. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Show the Guardians fan. The Guardians fan, they didn't even, it was nothing that they just showed him getting kicked out. Is that real? Yeah, it is real because there was all these people there's like all these angles of it. All these people, all these boats were filming it. The dude survived too, crazy. Yeah, I mean he must have gotten thrown around really bad in the cabin. But or I guess he probably would have been out here.
Up, up, up. Holy fuck.
No, guys, it's not AI. That's actually real. You're not buying GTA 6 for $100. Yeah, they'll probably make it $89.99. That would be my guess. They'll probably make it under $100, but it's probably going to be $79.99, $89.99. The league needs to step in and take disciplinary action. Completely gross. Dude, there were like 5 players that got pranked called about their draft, about themselves getting drafted. Savannah Bananas, who is buying tickets to this? Yeah, how do they sell out 80,000? That's pretty crazy. Oh my! Oh, you got it. A community is coming together. Special things are happening.
We're anchoring ourselves in the moral traditions. When we came out here over 10 hours ago, Hakeem and I said this is a bigger moment than politics. This is a moral moment in America, and we were going to sit here for a long time. I didn't know we'd be sitting for 10 hours, but it's 10 hours and we're still going, and we got some great people here. But the moral traditions, we got some power here. Now, we said we were anchoring ourselves in the moral traditions. When we came out here over 10 hours ago, Hakeem and I said this is a bigger moment than politics. This is a moral moment in America, and we were going to sit here for a long time. I didn't know we'd be sitting for 10 hours, but it's 10 hours and we're still going, and we got some great people here. The moral traditions.
Is he going to sleep on the steps? He's going to sleep. Oh, what a gooner comment, Hockey. Just straight gooner, man. Come on. That's why you don't see any speedboat races anymore. They leave the water and start flying. Robert, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was insane. That was like a ragdoll. Your head is blocking my crotch. Let's see how long they can go. They got a community. Like, I'm sure all these steps will get filled and it'll be this empowering thing. Is Grandpa gonna stay there all night? It's bedtime. Getting nothing done. Oh, they're raising money for their 2028 campaigns. I only knew him of fighting and stuff.
One girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told us this.
I'm in shock because it's like I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff, like, you know, but to take someone's life is just like a different level.
I mean, honey, I didn't expect him to do that. I only know him from fighting, huh? Their asses are going to be sore. Yeah, if they're sitting on those concrete steps, that's tough. I only knew him from fighting. Women Logic Gen Z. Dude, you might want to get. I mean, if that's a really this girl, bro. You got to be 17 yourself. I don't think that's helping Carmelo's defense. I only knew him from fighting. What a great young man. The future astronaut is only known for fighting. Yeah, the South is getting better apparently in terms of literacy. You wonder if she'll be used as a witness? I don't think so. It seems like they just interviewed her when she wasn't even there, and she talked about how much she knew Anthony. Axios reporter says we missed it. This is so pathetic. You missed what? You missed an interview Biden did in 20. Like, the guy was constantly lost. We missed it. This dude, man. The Shador Sanders phone call. There's like 6 players that got pranked. Does Trump attend correspondence dinner or has he abandoned it? I think he abandoned it. He's not going to be there. All right, let's take a look at some of this really quickly. God damn, this coin is tanking. Now this coin will end up doing well. Thoughts on Cory Booker stuff? It's just performance art. Bill Belichick must like having women tell him what to do, or that relationship is on. Yeah, that relationship is weird. I mean, she's like hovering over him while he's doing an interview, and he can't even answer a question. All coins are tanking. Dude, it's the sell-off on Sunday night. I'm sick of this. Sick of dealing with it. Streaming the election tomorrow? Yeah, I will be. The Canadian election. I'm guessing Carney probably gets a liberal minority seats like the liberals do. I think Trudeau is going to win. He's going to come back. 55,000, that seems realistic. You think it'll be bigger than the bull run of 2021? It has to be. I mean, there's more. There's gonna be more money, I would imagine, and certainly there. I mean, it has to be bigger, but there's gonna be more coins involved, so there's gonna be some dilution. Red Eagle Politics just released a video on the 2025 Canadian election. He's predicting Mark Carney will win. Majority or minority seats? Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. What time do the polls close? Well, there's a lot of different time zones in Canada, so it's. But I think most of all of it's probably going to be done by 9 o'clock Eastern. That's what I heard. Is Bill Kuiper a hype man for ESPN drafts? He's like the godfather of that type of stuff, but he really got paid off by Dion and just lost his credibility. You missed Trump 2028 guy? Well, that's what happened. I think he left. He's like, fuck this dude. He's like, I'm out. I'm not spending money on this ginger motherfucker. Nothing ever happens. But what is this even for? Russia, Ukraine agree to a ceasefire? No. The next pope is black. Fed cuts rates. India invades Pakistan. Israel or U.S. military action against Iran. But by when? May 31st? A month? Yeah, the Fed is not going to be cutting anything. I know that. The next pope is not going to be black. The ceasefire might happen. India invading Pakistan? I don't know. I don't think so. Israel or U.S. military action against Iran? I don't think so. Feels like news has been kind of dry the past couple weeks. Yeah, no, it actually, I think it has. Like, I believe it has. It's not just like me coping because my channel. I think the news has been, there's not been much news to report on or to make videos on. That's just what I think. How old Jordan? Odd how Jordan doesn't want people to know how she met Bill. Yeah, very strange. Well, she's 24 now. The Black Pope is based. Yeah, but they're not going to choose him. Robert Sarah. Fed will surprise us and cut in May. I highly doubt it. But you're like a crypto guy, man. I understand why you want it. And trust me, I want it to happen as well. But I think they're probably waiting for some of the trade deals to be negotiated before they cut. And I don't think there's going to be, because if the meeting is on the 9th, well, maybe if several deals happen before then maybe, but it's unlikely. Red Eagle did not say if the Liberal Party will win a majority or minority of seats. He briefly mentioned that at the end of the video. You agree it'll be a minority? Yeah, I mean, analytics say it'll be a minority win for Liberals. Does AOC run? Of course, AOC is going to run 100%. And then she might be a top pick for the VP. But she'll definitely run. I don't see her getting run. I mean, it would have to be, there's going to be this push within the Democratic Party to go really young and more energy. So she's going to kind of fit that bill, but I don't really think it matters. I don't think she's going to win. Jordan Hudson's parents are pissed at her. She's dating Belichick. Well, it's sugar daddy. That's the relationship. And she's like bossed him around in these interviews. It's strange. What country gets a trade deal done with? It's probably, well, depends how intricate the deal is. A lot of these countries, some of them don't do much trade with us, so the deal becomes easier to do. Depends on the amount of trade bearers they have with us. So you'd say, well, there's been a lot of positive progress. I mean, Vance went to India recently. I know that because of his wife. But they talked about it. They announced that they had entered negotiations officially. But I mean, it might be a smaller country like Vietnam. Are you keeping up with the NBA playoffs? Yeah, I am. To a degree, I am. The Cavs look good. Cavs are up 3-0. It's a 1v8 round, but you'd support Massey in 28. Doubt he'd win. No, I don't think he'd have a chance at all. Massey. I mean, it depends what happens with the party, but he's got the anti-Israel stuff. I get it. Some people like that, but yeah, I don't see him having much of a chance. How about that guy, David Hogg? He's super annoying. Well, they're about to get rid of him because he's misallocating Democrat funds and they're pissed off. He's trying to primary all these people. He wants the party to get more liberal, I think. But I don't know what his qualifications are for that. It seems like, I mean, I was talking to Red Eagle and I was like, what do you think about this dude? And he's like, I have no clue. I mean, he got elected, but he's now trying to waste all their money and primary these people to get more socialist and liberal. I mean, did you see what happened at the end of Knicks Pacers? Yeah, I saw. You thought there was a foul there? I think the Liberals are going to win minority seats in the Canadian election. 167, 168. You got to get to 172. David Hogg, the anti-Second Amendment guy that got famous after Parkland. Yeah. Does Tim Pool have hair? I don't know. People said they're trying to remove his beanie, and I don't know. He needs to remove it. If he wears a suit, he needs to remove it. I saw him in a photo with Roger Stone, and he still had it on when he was in a suit. But people aren't. I mean, you got to remove it at some point. Some guest is probably going to ask him to remove it, and he'll probably get angry at them. But I don't know. What's the tariff news? Well, it's just Trump said there's tariff deals coming within 3 weeks. That was Trump. That's what he said today. Seems like you've been streaming a bit earlier lately. Yeah, I mean 7, 7:30, 8, any of that time frame is probably when I want to stream. So yeah, I mean it's been 7 o'clock. But I mean if I'm only doing one video, it's gonna be easier to stream earlier. But if I upload my final video, if I do like 3 videos in a day or 2, but if I'm uploading a video at like 4:30, I probably don't want to stream until 8. Although it really doesn't matter. So no luck in Alberta joining the United States. Well, we'll see. I think it's going to be hard, but definitely if Carney wins, there's going to be more momentum for it. But I'm not optimistic it's going to happen. I do think there could be momentum, and then you bring Trump involved, and you get Trump involved, and he learns about the natural resources there, and so you could have an option with it. He doesn't even look completely terrible. Why does he do it to himself? Well, he says he wears it because he needs to be recognized. And people only recognize him when he has it on. The later streaming time is great. Show us West Coasters some love. There's barely, most people are on the East Coast though that take in YouTube. That's the thing. I know it's a bad time for what people on the West Coast. I get it because, I mean, if I was in Central Time Zone and doing it at 7 or 8, it'd be better. Probably like 8 would be best. Do you think the Guardians or Tigers will win the AL Central? The AL Central is so weak. Probably the Tigers. If Alberta, Saskatchewan come to the U.S., BC isn't far behind. Yeah, I mean, they would fall like dominoes, I think. I mean, BC would be isolated at that point. Not that it matters a ton, but I mean, would we want to take on BC because how liberal it is? You're from California, you'd rather watch me at night, so later. How much money would be saved on transport costs if BC joins the US? Well, you'd also have to get Yukon, I believe. BC wouldn't completely connect to Alaska if that's what you're talking about in terms of transport from Alaska. But I don't even know. I mean, they already probably do it, and I don't think it costs too much. It's usually around 5 p.m. Pacific time, although today was a little bit earlier. But even you do later streams around 6 or 7. Yeah. Well, sometimes I'll stream a little bit later at like 8 o'clock, or depending. By transport, you mean to Alaska? Yeah, I mean, but you'd also need Yukon. BC connects. Oh, is it because of that sliver? That southern sliver of Alaska? I do have West Coast fans. I know I do. No, I understand it. But for me, I mean, like I need to produce more content is what I need to do because then I could push my streams back because I like segmenting it. Like if I upload a video at 5 o'clock, I don't want to stream at 7 o'clock. But today, if I upload a video at like 1 o'clock, I can stream at 7 or 6 or 5 whenever. Any more school stories? Yeah, I mean, I mean, I have some, but it's like, what do I do a video on that? It's just like, can't drive through that. No, that's the problem. That's the issue. Even I think the connection with Yukon will probably be pretty tough. through BC. There's a lot of mountainous area there. But I mean, if you could connect it, I would say get Yukon as well if you really wanted to connect it properly. Dating update. Imagine I just bring my girlfriend on. Joking. Look at what Elon posted. Elon seems to just serial tweet. What, Neuralink? What a beautiful sky. Man, what a beautiful landscape. What is that, wetland? Is that a wetland or a marsh? I never eat Taco Bell personally. You think the Canadian election is just like the US election, would replace the liberal candidate with a new candidate, surge up the polls, but end up still losing? Yeah, I can see the parallels. They replace Trudeau. The Democrats replace Biden. But the liberal, it's possible, but obviously the betting is a lot different. Trump was leading. He was at like 70% going into election night. So this is a different scenario. Bro, I do not have a girlfriend. Yeah, you might be right. This might be dry land, and it's just flooded over. Oh, look, my thing got recommended. Yeah, maybe I should start tweeting these out. Maybe that'll be better for me. I don't think it'll do shit, but I just tweet out some of my videos when I upload them. Fort Knox will never happen. Yeah, Fort Knox is rest in peace to that idea. Rest in peace to Doge. Taco Bell versus McDonald's versus Chick-fil-A. I'd go Chick-fil-A, then McDonald's, then Taco Bell. Oh, oh man. Are you moving? What's the story? Yeah, I'll be moving soon. Greenland needs to stop playing fuck around, find out game. I'm so sick of Greenland. It's so annoying. It's this EU Brit type posture. They develop it from the European countries. They think they're this special country. You can't do anything to us. It's like, I mean, you're gonna get bed with China. We're taking your country over. I mean, we're done with this. But the media is just. If Trump did take their country over, we'd have to sit here and deal with a lot of bullshit. But I think it'd be worth it, obviously. Just a lot of just complete bullshit. They would try and impeach him. But it doesn't matter. Are you nervous about the approval rating for Trump? No, I'm not nervous about it. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, this is a rocky period. It's very early in the administration. We're about 5% through Trump's administration, right? Is that what it is? Maybe less. No, I think it's less than. If there's the Q1 4 quarters, 16. I mean, we're barely into the administration. I'm trying to fucking do math. It's not my birthday. Yeah. Just the fake trolls on the birthday. My birthday's in September. My birthday's in September, man. Come on. It's not even my half birthday. You missed it. 3.5%. You think through right now? Well, think about it. Actually, you can't even count the full. No, you're right. It's even less than 5 because I was counting all of quarter 1, but there was January, which it was only 10 days for Trump. Yeah, if you add up all the days of the 4 years and then you divide it, but some bullshit like that, then you get the answer. Did you read about the Nick Fuentes yay Trump dinner? That was like 3 years ago, I think, man. That was a while ago. Oh. Who do you think is going to win the election tomorrow? Liberals by minority seats. I say that not being a fan of Trump, just understanding the national security concern China being let into Greenland represents. Well, you see that you saw what I was referencing a few weeks ago. They did a deal with them. They did a fishing deal or some shit. That was like a trade deal. And it allows them some type of territory, not territory, but it allows them influence in the Arctic, basically China. So Carney, yeah, it would be Carney. Candace Owen, yeah, she's kind of gotten lost. I mean, she thinks everything's a conspiracy. That's the problem. And now she's like, I saw she was talking about the moon landing with Matt Walsh. It's like, all right, it's enough at a certain point. Trouble at the Obamas, trouble in paradise. If Carney wins, it'll be good for Trump. I don't think it really matters, but I would say, yeah, the liberals winning would be slightly better. Have you seen the political landscape in Central America? Elections over there are like 3 Marxists, 2 socialists, and an extreme right-wing candidate. Well, that Scheinbaum is very liberal in Mexico. But there's so much fraud in like third world elections. It's insane. But in Brazil, there's so much crap going on with that. She's becoming the new age Alex Jones, but you can't disrespect Alex like that. Come on. Don't disrespect Alex like that. Don't hear a lot about the Tates anymore. Yeah, I haven't heard much from them. They had the whole thing with DeSantis where he didn't want to let them in Florida, and then apparently they resolved it, and now they're back. Where do they live? Romania? Obama engaged to Bridget Macron. Imagine that would break the fifth wall. went on Tim Dillon podcast. I know Tim Dillon's this he talks politics. They all the Tim Dillon, Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn. They all talk politics. Pretty much all their podcasts are politics now. Is Bolsonaro prosecution essentially the same as Trump's? I think it's worse. Luckily we're not left wing enough to where they could jail Trump. They got close though. That's crazy. Theo too. Theo's been getting into politics. He had Trump on and other people, and he's been kind of a questioning Israel and stuff. And that's really how this thing goes with modern day. They start the questioning of Israel, and does Israel do anything for us? We know how the story goes. Yeah, Bill Burr's another one. Ben Affleck was on Theo Vaughn. Well, he just had a movie come out, Affleck, so that's probably why he was doing the run, the media run. How long do you think it will take to get our education system to be actually good? Well, it seems like they're starting to improve in the South. First Mississippi, now Louisiana. They're right. I mean, I think they're adjusting for demographics, but the rates are improving. The test scores, but I don't know. I mean, without the Department of Education, there's no way to know how much if things are gonna get significantly better, worse. It's a state by state thing. It's hard to say for sure. Why have no trade deals been done yet? Because they're complicated. It's it's multi-year things, and there's a lot of stipulations with them, and there's a lot of barriers that have to be removed in negotiations. What time do you wake up? Like 8 o'clock maybe. Trying to get up earlier. What would make the world become? What would make the world love the United States again? If we got weaker. They don't like it. They don't like a threatening superpower. Are you unemployed? No, I'm not. The reliance on test scores were the problem. Yeah, no, I mean they got the standardized testing and things like that, and the issue was the test scores got significantly worse after the Department of Education was founded. You've noticed people are more strict with their kids in the South, making sure they do good in school. I mean, I feel like it's a case by case thing. Thoughts on Epstein victim? Yeah, no, I think there's no question they after. So it's so obvious. They make it so obvious. She got in a bus crash, and then come on. Thoughts on Ian Carroll? I don't know. With Ian, it gets tiring. I mean, it's like every little thing is a but Ian's a good, he's a good researcher, and Ian's a nice guy. Yeah, they ended up finding my channel just because I got big enough to where some of them found it, because that was back when I had like 70K when I was talking about that. Ben Shapiro got attacked and hospitalized. I didn't see that. Is that true? If you got married, would you need to get a corporate job? No, that's not gonna be in my future. There's gonna be no corporate job. Best fruit. Fruit has a lot of sugar in it. It's the thing that people say. That's what RFK says. Strawberries are very good. Do I ride a motorcycle? No, I have no interest in that. I have no interest in that. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this stream. I will be back tomorrow with the Canadian election, and we'll see what happens in this. But probably liberal minority rule. That's what I would say. But who knows? Strawberries are such a starter fruit. I mean, you could say that about a number of different fruits, but yeah, strawberries tend to be when you're younger. Kids always love them. Go live at 5. I mean, is it worth to go live at 5? I mean, what am I gonna do? A fucking 7-hour stream? Do I really want to do that? I guess I'll see how the way that they count the votes. Because do they seriously start counting the votes at 5? Because with the U.S. election, it's really 7. I mean, they have some votes counted, but it's like 7. Cake or pie? Probably cake, but I like pie more now that I'm older. Votes coming at 5:30. All right, maybe then I should. I mean, as long as the election gets decided by like 9 o'clock, hopefully 10 o'clock, that shouldn't be that bad. All right, I'll see ya.